One of Baltimore's biggest assets is its waterfront districts. From Mr. Trash Wheel and Healthy Harbor to Ashfield, the Waterfront Partnership is all about creating experiences to benefit the city and those who call it home. But there's about to be a new person leading that charge. Joining us now, Dan Taylor, the incoming president of the Waterfront Partnership, and the current president, Lori Schwartz. Good to see you both.
Good to see you. Thank you.
I sense you have the same excitement I have for the waterfront. It's an asset that really, the Baltimore loves.
It's an incredible place, and it has been for at least 50 years, if not more, and we're just making it better and better every year.
Sure. For some, I'm guessing it can be a tough sell. Then you have an event where you have people come out and swim in it, and you think, people love this part of Baltimore.
They do, and we opened up the email list for people to register for jumping in last year, and it sold out in 10 minutes. So we are repeating it. Dan's swimming this year.
Oh, nice.
It's going to be terrific.
Dan, you're no stranger to Baltimore. You've been involved with civic products and projects before. What makes this one different? What are you looking forward to?
Well, there's just so much that's going on the waterfront right now. We talked about Rashfield Park and Point Park, and really this ability to have more places for Baltimoreans to come down and enjoy the water just any time, when the weather's nice, when the weather's not, if you want to get out there. So it's a really exciting time to be down on the waterfront with all these different places that are coming online.
Yeah, and I'm guessing one of the things that you can sort of glean from Lori is changing perception. Was that tough for you?
We didn't focus on, we need to do this, we need to do that to change perception. We just thought, how can we make the waterfront an incredible, inviting, welcoming place, first and foremost for Baltimoreans, and then for others. We're happy to have anyone. Yeah. But especially, you talked about Rashfield Park the other day, or recently. The Phase 1 area, which has been open since 2021.
Which is beautiful.
It's gorgeous, and it's filled all the time with families, is ranking higher in numbers than we ever expected. Wow. We have a way of tracking the number of people and where they come from. It's all over the city, as well as tourists, Baltimore County folks. And our goal for Phase 2, which breaks ground in April, is to enhance that number of people, the kind of activities that people can come for, and watch others doing, whether it's soccer or pickleball or volleyball.
There's a big dog walking contingent in the morning as well. And it's appointment dog walking. Dan, I'll tell you, I'm a sucker for the googly eyes of Mr. Trash Wheel and the rest of his family around the water. Tell me about the importance of that, and is it working, do you think?
Well, there's no question that it's working. All you need to do is look at the water, people's willingness to swim in it or kayak in it or walk around it without any of the trash there. So it's been an unbelievable, useful thing to pull the trash out, but it's also fun. And when you talk about changing perception, it's about making the harbor a place that is fun and accessible and easy to go in and around. So I think Mr. Trash Wheel has been a great way to say, what is this? Let me check it out. And hey, look how cool everything is here. I'm going to come back and see this again.
A cool waterfront, I guess, can translate into residents and businesses and vendors. So this isn't just, you're not just doing it for the fun of it. I think that for the city, this could mean growth, yeah?
Absolutely. I mean, a good waterfront helps drive economic development, helps drive residents, and helps drive the businesses all around the water as well. And so when you make it a place that people want to spend time, all of the other things start to come together as well, and that's really one of the big goals.
Lori, was it part of seeing other cities fare well that I think worked for Baltimore to make this an attraction, do you think? Was it one of the things that the partnership look at other cities and say, they do this well, we could probably adapt that to ours? We
have learned from a lot of other cities all across the country, more than around the world.
Sure.
But I think we've made what we've done at the partnership and what's happening around the waterfront uniquely Baltimore, which is so important. It's not going to work to have a building that you see in DC planted on the waterfront here. And so whether it's the Inner Harbor, Harbor East, or Harbor Point, which is coming alive this spring, people will be shocked to see this new neighborhood. It's all uniquely Baltimore, which is most important.
About 30 seconds left. If people want to learn more or come be part of your effort, or the things they can do, or a website they should look for.
Waterfrontpartnership.org is the website that has all things about the waterfront.
Okay. Something tells me you're not going to just put your feet up once you leave the presidency, huh?
No, that won't be happening. I've got lots of plans, new adventures.
I love it. Good to see you both. Thank you for coming by. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jason.